Hi, it's Juris and welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk, and today it will be a little update episode, update on products that I have reviewed. After working for some time, there has been some changes with them. I will talk about battery packs from Inkclaw and battery packs from Critical. I have products aligned here and some there, so let's go one by one, not a long episode. Let's go. Let's start with the bigger battery from Inkclaw. As you can see, this one is the fully functioning one. I press the power button, bada bim, it switches on, bada bim, it switches off. Let's put it on a machine, light tap on a button, and it's working. Boom, it's off. And the other battery, after some time, I would say I have them for some 3 years maybe. After 1.5 years, maybe 2. This one started to act weird. It just stopped working. I couldn't switch it on, or I couldn't see the screen. Now it works, but I have to press quite harder. I don't know if you can see. Boom. And it's on. And it's off. Same thing applies when you put it on a machine. It's not just light tap. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to press way harder. It's funky, but it stopped working, and after a while it started to work again. These batteries are not that much of a big deal. These are around $70 US. I mean, prices may vary depending on when you look at them. Plus you can get discounts with our affiliate links. And if you do that, then thank you very much, because we get a little kickback, and that way you support channel, and that makes these products even cheaper. In comparison to Critical battery packs, you can buy 3 of these battery packs in comparison to like 1 of Critical battery packs. And now I have products here. Let's start with Critical battery packs. Main thing with the original Critical battery packs is that I noticed already for a few years, but I have them for like 4 or 5 years. So let's say 2-3 years in, when the battery goes down below 50%, like the charge, they lose power. So sometimes you work and it's the same area, same customer, and suddenly you're like, why it's not packing in color as well as it did like an hour ago. Then I noticed, like, let's say battery is around 40%, I switch to other battery and things go back to normal. So I noticed that they lose power when they are on a lower end of charge. Also, reading on Tattoo pages, people say that they lose sort of how long they keep charge, so they start to discharge in around like half hour instead of couple hours. That people say after around 2 years. I noticed my issue after 2-3 years, but I don't use them like all day every day. I don't tattoo like that many big sessions. I do more small tattoos. Sometimes I tattoo few days a week, sometimes I tattoo all week, sometimes I make 2 tattoos in a week. For people who use them all day every day, after around 2 years some issues start. And then you have to think how much you want to invest. Obviously it's a good battery, it works fine. But still keep in mind you might have to invest like $260 US every 3 years to get battery back to what it used to be. Obviously no warranty will cover it after that long of a time. On that note, recently on Instagram popped up a video where one gentleman was replacing the batteries within this battery pack. He was replacing them with some generic lithium batteries from Amazon. Really interesting video, really good DIY skill. So if you are into that stuff, then check it out. And gentleman's Instagram handle is Rope Downs Tattoos. Check it out, really interesting video. If you are into DIY stuff, it's possible to replace batteries within these battery packs, obviously at your own risks. Be careful when you mess with lithium batteries, stuff can go sideways. If you puncture them, they will most likely catch fire, so at your own risks, and electricities, batteries, up to you. Now, next Critical battery I want to talk about is Bishop X Critical battery. Suddenly screen stopped working. I had it charging, I took it, I want it to work, I pressed the button, nothing happened. So I thought maybe I didn't charge it. I tried again, nothing happened. If I keep the power button, you can hear the beep. And nothing appears on the screen. I'll put it closer to microphone. Now it should be off. I think, no, it's on. Because I can adjust power, so it's beeping. and I can press run button and it's running. I just don't see what's happening on the screen. Battery still functions if you can work without looking at the screen, without seeing the charge, without seeing the numbers. It still works if you can manage to work without seeing those things, just by the sound and the speed. It's fine, it's working, but screen stopped working for absolutely no reason. I tried the good old thing, since warranty is long gone on them. I think I have them for around 3 years. I thought I will take it apart, see maybe I see something in there that I can fix, or just a good old trick, take things apart, put it back together, and it's working again. That didn't happen. If you are interested how they look on inside, here's some pictures on the screen. To take them apart and put them back together, it's really not that hard, but all those insides, I thought maybe there's some cable disconnected or something simple. That wasn't the case. I don't know all the schematics and what to do with them. I put it back together, I still have it. It's just for absolutely no reason. Screen said goodbye to me. So that would be update on my Bishop X Critical. Working, voltage one way, voltage other. Functions, except screen. Now I have my Critical Torque. It's the tattoo machine that I use most. That's sort of my daily driver tattoo machine. Most of the time I use this tattoo machine. Sometimes I pair it with packer wand, or with liner, or with the 5mm stroke Inkclaw machine. This tattoo machine and batteries work fine. Even the busted battery that I got from the beginning for a review with the busted screen. You can't see that well what's going on, especially when it's wrapped, but it's still working. Power seems fine. That's all good. You can see the situation here. Boom, presets, all the good stuff. Power, everything's working, even though the screen is a bit in a glitchy mode. This one is First Critical Torque 3.5mm stroke tattoo machine. I use it for like final line things, for basically most of the stuff. I enjoy using packer for like coloring in bigger areas, and liner wand, or let's say this one, 5mm stroke machines, mostly for like the dotty whippy shading, or if it's some huge lines. Now there's this tattoo machine. This is the, what was it, like the Halloween edition, the bloody looking Critical Torque. This is 4.2mm stroke tattoo machine. The warranty on these things is 1 year. We got it at the end of 2024. My colleague Dan bought it when they had a discount, and he got this wonderful piece of machinery. It was working fine, and by the end of last year it started to do weird things, started to have this extra rattly sound. We checked when we bought it, it was right past 1 year, so obviously warranty is off. He tried to open it to see maybe there's something tangled, some piece of plastic or something. Nothing was there. We looked into some topics on this subject on tattoo pages. Some people have that issue, and it's not that long. It's just after 1 year of using it, and it's not his only tattoo machine. It's a bit unfortunate, and most of the people say that only solution is to change motor. Either you send it to repairs and pay for it, or do it yourself. That's up to you. I'll try to show you what's the thing. You can only hear that sound. It sort of functions, but that sound is a bit worrisome. So this is the regular 3.5mm stroke Critical Torque. I run it. This is the sound that it makes. And this one, the Bloody Horror Edition, again, also 6.5 volts. And there is this weird extra noise that it's sort of like something is off the balance or some sort of grinding. First we thought that maybe it's just some plastic from wrapping it gotten into motor and it's just rattling around, because it's not too aggressive, the sound, but still it's there. Again, regular torque. And the one that has issue. With cartridge in, let's say 3mm ish needle out, 6.5 volts. Same ish distance for needle. It is this irregular rattling noise. And if you look online, it's not the only machine that has this sort of an issue, which is unfortunate. We'll wait till it's completely busted probably, and then we'll see what we can do. And also parts are not cheap. This is by the way with the 3D printed grip. Just a fun thing that exists. On 3D printed note, I also tried to use some of Inkclaw's 3D printed tattoo machines. They're fun. Some I even wrapped and didn't notice that I used the 3D printed one. So they do function. With 3D printed ones, you have to be more careful when you sort of wrap them and tighten them, because they are from this 3D printed plasticish material, so you can overdo threads. Just a little note. And then more updates. This is just a replacement bulb from Stencil machine. It's the big black and red one where I have the video that it's the best stencil tattoo machine, at least at the time. You can probably see it at the back there, or I put it on screen. Anyway, it started to act funky for like a last year, maybe a bit more. You had to run stencils through it super fast, otherwise they would blur out the whole image. At some point we finally decided to try to change the lamp. This is the old lamp. It's still working. There's nothing visually wrong with it, but we bought a new one. We replaced it. It's pretty easy to do. There's a video online from, I think it's from Jconly. I'll find it and link it below. It's pretty easy procedure. If you are familiar with screwdrivers and you know how to undo bolts, it's not a rocket science. You undo things, unplug few things, get old lamp out, put a new one in, and it's good. Before we changed it, you had to run stencil on a maximum speed, and then it was all right. With the new lamp, you can dial it back to 7 and it works fine, and you still have wiggle room to run it a bit slower or faster if you need to adjust the intensity of your stencil. And last update I wanted to show you, this tray. We don't have it for that long. We did the unboxing video for it. It is the tray from Elite, and what we noticed like last month, the tray itself have had few cracks. This one's been used every day since we did unboxing video. Dan's using, that's his setup station, and he's super happy with it. Easy to pack and all the good stuff, as we told in unboxing video, that it seems good product. The trouble is that there are few cracks that have appeared on the tray itself. You can see around magnets. There's crack there, there, and there. And we haven't done anything crazy with it. It's attached with magnets and with those extra screws that secures it in place. These things are replaceable, and they come, I think, in 2 colors. It wouldn't be a bad idea if they would make one in metal. Oh, actually there are more cracks. Now, when I lift it up, I can see that there are also cracks appearing around here on the edge. I don't know if camera can pick it up. I would imagine that these cracks would appear because there's tension because of magnets. If you apply some sort of pressure by trying to like lift it or push on it, it would crack there, but around the corners it makes 0 sense why it would crack there. And I'm pretty sure we would notice them if they were there from the beginning. And a little crack around the corner there. So these things tend to crack for no obvious reason. Maybe it's the long-term sort of a little bit of pressure and tension there, and maybe all the sprays that we use for sanitizing them. But that's kind of like not great for trays themselves, or if you want to use them, consider that you might to replace them in a not too long of a time. Maybe they'll have new versions, new plastics or different materials, and it will be better. But cracks are there. Obviously we cover it with plastic, so it shouldn't affect much what's on it. But the fact that cracks are there, not great. Not completely terrible, but definitely not great. Updates on the near future. We have received new tattoo machine from Emalla. Boom, it's the G5 Pro model with adjustable stroke. Now we are starting to work with that. In around 4 to 6 weeks there should be review on that one. Then they also sent us the tattoo ink mixer. It's this funny thing. We don't mix colors much. The most fun I had with it, I had my kids over at work, so we mixed some different colors of inks to see how it reacts, and it's fun for kids to see how colors are mixing and have a little gadget in their hands. Also, we are waiting for delivery for one tattoo machine from Easy. That's updates for the future. That's it for today's episode. And now you do your things. If you have anything to mention, then leave that in the comment section. If you're using our affiliate links for shopping for tattoo products, then thank you for that. That way you support the channel. And also we have now PayPal link in the video description, so you can leave a little tip there if you're feeling generous. And do the usual, press like in the video, and if you are super awesome, then share it. If you find this video informative or at least entertaining, then consider subscribing to the channel. See you in future episodes. Bye. Peace.